Alright, guys, so welcome to the PFI Music Podcast one more time. This is your host, Pablo, your Ruiz Vargas. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube Rumble Picture channel. You listen to the podcast in Anchor.fm, Spotify, other music platforms. Make sure that you just give a simple click. That way you can just help the podcast. This is episode 148. The title of the video is How to Gain Complete Control of Your Mind. Now I want to say this because I'm not a guru guy. I'm not this type of individual. I'm just trying to just tell you where you can just start controlling your mind, taking advantage of the game. Make sure you always one step ahead instead of just going through all these problems and then figure out like 10 years from now. You don't need to do that, okay? There's good material out there. There's good exercise that you can do, and most importantly, there's always space to improvement. Doesn't matter if you're 60 years old, 80 years old, 10 years old, or 1 year old. There's always space to make sure you're a better person. Okay. Now let's go here and just discuss some of the techniques to control your thoughts or control your thoughts coming in when you have a lot of thoughts passing over. It's very hard. So before we start even talk about this, right? The most important one is meditation. And meditation it doesn't have to be like an hour or 30 minutes or 2 hours, 5 hours. Don't go there. It's only take 5 to 10 minutes. That's all it takes. And where you can just practice meditation, easy. In my case, I do it in the shower. Turn on the shower, let the water just fall in my face, and just have those nice 5 to 10 minutes. Trying to figure out how I can just make sure that my mind is calm. And that way can start the day. It's not easy. Not starting the day when your mind is all over the place. Make sure you're ready to, get things right then and there. Make sure it's calm and ready to go. Okay? Let's go. My bad. Just want to make sure we are on the same page. I'm not. Okay. Good. Let's just start with the fact that the first thing you need to understand is that you have to identify the thoughts that you want to change, right? That's very important. What kind of thoughts are the one that you want to change? Are those thoughts impulses? Are those thoughts fleshy thoughts? Are those thoughts are demonic? Are those thoughts are good or bad? Doesn't matter. What kind of thoughts is that, right? And I remember when I used to listen to David D'Angelo back in the pickup artist days. He used to say, "It's when you have those thoughts on those problems, on those emotional bursts, make sure you look more information about it, okay? Have it like a blank boom, right? And then think, oh, okay, that's very interesting. Let me look for more information about it." The reason you want to do that is because when you do that, you can just make it concrete, easy to just get close to it. Okay, it's easier to get closer when you have thoughts like that than just think it as something that's far away. Because even though we know those thoughts are present, sometimes it's hard for us to understand where can we just reach out to those thoughts and make sure that they're far away, right? Identify the thoughts that you want to change, study it, understand it, and make sure that you understand where and why it's coming from. That's very important, because with that, it's going to give you a more or better doors to just understand more about yourself, okay? The next one is accept the fact that you're going to have a lot of thoughts. That's a fact. Thoughts are going to come in, and it's going to be unwanted thoughts, and some of those are going to be wanted thoughts. What do you need to do? In my personal opinion, this is where maturity comes in. And when life goes on, right, something that you have to understand is the older you get, the more responsible you have to be, right? So when you have unwanted thoughts, right, Your responsibility is that you have to differentiate between unwanted thoughts and good thoughts. Now, the good thoughts you want it because it keep your life in balance, right? Keep your life in a healthy manner. The unwanted thoughts is just those thoughts that are always trying to pull you down to those bad habits or those bad side of your mind. Now, so those unwanted thoughts, I would suggest you don't crave to them. Don't cave. If you cave to those bad thoughts, it just happens one after the other. Just keep going. It doesn't end. Okay? So it's important for you to understand that then when you get those bad thoughts, don't give them energy. Let them be for the moment, but then pass it on. Right? Don't let those bad thoughts become or make you those thoughts. It's important. Because as soon as you start caving in for those bad thoughts, it's just one after the other. If you say yes to this one, you're gonna say yes to this one. Then you're gonna say yes to this one, and then it's all, a trickle down effect. Accept unwanted thoughts, but don't cave to it. Okay. Next one, change your perspective. Make sure things are different. Have a different perspective to those things, right? Don't take it too serious. Maybe you're having thoughts because it could be a feedback. Maybe you're having a thought because you need to work on certain things. Maybe you're having thoughts because maybe your body craving certain things. It's not that serious, okay? Remember, this is just a process, okay? And changing your perspective for things can help you to understand life in a different lens, okay? Change your perspective. Don't take it too serious, right? And make sure you always receiving different feedback. Focus on the positive. Instead of focusing on the bad things, right? Focus on the positive. That means that if a situation happens, right, and you get some result, instead of having that bad feedback, say, you know what? There's a reason why these things happen. And because there's a reason that things happen, I might learn something from this. That's how you start controlling your mind. Instead of reacting to negative things, you step back, say, you know what? This might be a good experience to learn in the future what I should not do, or what things are gonna come with, or how things are gonna come. Focus on positive. Don't focus on negative. It's easy to just be negative, okay? Don't be like other people. Another one is write it down, and we spoke about this. Journal. Do you have a journal? Can you express yourself clearly in the journal? Can you really describe your thoughts as you have it in the moment? A journal is a great way to do these things. Why? We always want to make sure that our mind and our ideas are concrete, because it's easier to just reach. And we can reach our ideas and the thoughts those thoughts are easier to control. If that's not the case, it's gonna be an uphill. We don't want to go against any uphill, because if we go against uphills, we're going to get tired. Okay? So write it down. Read it. Let it be. Come next week. Try to have a different approach and see how things change. Okay? Write it down. If you don't write it down, you can identify it. Okay? And it sounds so silly, right? Because we see, but in my case, I used to think I'm always writing things down. Of course, I'm just writing my thoughts down. Is it? One thing is to just write it down, right? Just sitting down on the computer, just writing down things, right? But one thing is writing down what is going on in your head. Okay? Take your time, because your head is like another muscle. It requires time, and most importantly, it requires dedication. Okay? Run things down. The last one, distractions. Distractions are what they call the shiny objects. Distractions are like, all of a sudden, you need to do certain things, but all of a sudden, you want to clean the house. You wanna clean the bathroom. You wanna just go to the supermarket. Distractions, right? Why I say you have to focus on distraction? Because you have to identify what is the trigger that. Why? In my opinion, what I found that triggers distractions is procrastination, and it's the fear of pain. Why? I do sales, I do dials, and something that I notice is when I want to do dials, what happens is hundreds of things happen. And hundreds of things happen because my body's just trying to protect me from that pain that's coming. The pain of being uncomfortable, the pain of being completely exposed. And to avoid that pain, all of a sudden I have to do all the things. Cleaning the restroom, cleaning the kitchen, go outside, go inside, whatever. Focus on those distractions, right? And determine why they're happening. Don't let distractions determine your actions, right? Because those things are choices. Remember, they are still choices. Not choosing to do the right thing is still choices, okay? So remember, the mind always go to the lowest denominator, the easy path. Choose wisely. Easy path is not always the good path, okay? Alright guys, so these are some of the things that I do to gain some control in my mind. They're not perfect, right? You can find them this on Google. I'm just sharing these with you guys. Some of them that I found that, very common with the things I do. Hopefully you guys liked it. This is your host, Pablo.